Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. We are back with our self-care guru. Yes, Millionaire Williams herself. She's here joining us live today to talk about the work she's doing, and it's to help you feel better, to get better, to stay better, to be strong, brave, bold, and to be just phenomenal. The P word, you mentioned it before we started. She is. And we are here with Effectua Life Coaching. Millionaire Williams joins us now. How are you?
Phenomenal. It is the P word.
The P word. You said it before. I was like, good to see you. Hi.
It is good to see you. Where have you been all my life, girl?
You're so cute. Same spot, different day. Yes, yes, New York. But I loved speaking with you, and you really have helped a lot of people and continue to with the work. EffectuaLifeCoaching.com. That's EffectuaLifeCoaching.com. That's how you can find her or Google her name, Millionaire Williams. And she's back today to talk more about self-care and about helping us. Go for it, girl.
Yes. And if you Google that name, girl, it's only about 9 pages on Google. So they know me in the world of Google. So go check out the work. Don't believe Jill and I. Go see it for yourself. You know, everybody believes Google. Go check them out.
Exactly. Yes.
God, I love it. I love it. But yeah, it's so good to be back with you. And I do want to remind that global audience out there again, as Jill stated, I am Millionaire Williams, effectuallifecoaching.com. Phone number also 661-341-0730. And please stay here because you don't want to miss these nuggets today. Okay. I tell you, but with that, Jill, I still want to, we're in the month of May, and I just want to remind our audience, Mental Health Awareness Month is here in May, that, we're still celebrating. And really, I think Mental Health Awareness Day should be 365 days a year, because without your mental health, nothing matters. I'm telling you. If that's not intact, you can't do life, Amy, without it.
It's true.
And, when your mental health and when that equilibrium is not in sync, you feel all the effects of it, that adrenaline rush, whatever it is that you're dealing with, panic, trauma, whatever, external forces, things not going right today or tomorrow, next week, you feel the stuff on the inside. And, our bodies on the inside, you can't see on the outside what's taking place, but just know, when we got the fight or flight syndrome and that adrenaline rush, and you got to realize, and this is kind of hard thing to say for people because, we have these beautiful bodies that we look out on the outside, but there's a whole nother system of anatomy that's going on. As I'm talking to you, you're drinking that water. Good girl. Yes.
You reminded me. And it's right before I got it the last shot. I made sure I'm like, all right, do I have any more?
I love it. Yeah. Because again, that's a self-care tip. And on the last podcast, we talked about that. I'm deviating a little bit, but I'm going to come back, audience. I'm on track here. Girl stays on track. Okay. I go out to the universe, but I come on back. And with that, the last podcast, we talked about some self-care tips. And one of the things that I do, I have this beautiful basket in my bedroom, and it's full of water bottles. So when you wake up in the morning, get hydrated, drink that bottle of water. Take care of that body, take care of the system. We spend so much time and energy and money, looking cute and everything else on the outside, but that body needs to be healthy on the inside. And that's also what I'm concerned about with mental health, because you've got to know that all these systems that operate inside of our body, they all succinctly work together. It's like a symbiotic flow, right now as we're talking and the world is out there happening. Your heart, my heart, it's pumping blood from the top down, and it's coming back up. So it's a cycle of blood we don't even think about this when we're just doing what we do everyday life, but it's happening. Your cells are in there, all these organs are in there, and they're doing what they do. Okay, so be good to them on the inside as well as you take care of the outside body. Take care of the internal mind, but also take care of the internal anatomy. And drinking water, I'm telling you, people, it sounds so simple, but I am telling you, you can dehydrate and that can create a whole nother plethora of issues.
Mhm.
And I always think, Amy, in life, like, um, you know, self-induced stuff, let's stop that stuff. Things can just happen without us having anything to do with it. So, things that we can control in our lives, we need to master that. We need to tell this mind, because I tell you, sometimes, Amy, I do the little mental tricks with my brain cells because in one of my books, I have a picture and I've got to bring it the next time. But one of my books, because I've always gone around saying the mind has a mind of its own. There are times you're
Yeah.
you're like, so focused to do something, and your brain will, or walk into a room in the house. It's like, you know what you were going in there for, and then you get in the room, and it's like, oh, what did I come in here to get? What did I come here to? It's
Uh-huh.
like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
Don't tell me the brain
Uh-uh.
doesn't have a mind of its own. So you have to talk to that brain. You got to press some command buttons in that internal computer system of yours. Tell it what you're going to do, okay? And it will start, you know, lining up. But if you don't tell that brain what to do, Amy, let me tell you, it just does what it wants to do and
Yeah.
all over the map. But I'm coming back, people, because I told you we took a little trip into orbit and we're back.
Yeah.
Okay, she's back. So with that, as I stated with the Mental Health Awareness Month, it's been around since 1949. 1949 is a lot of years ago, but with all that's happened, COVID and everything that's going on, and
Yeah.
again, Amy, I just like to always be empathetic to the world and what people are dealing with and these mass shootings that are going on. It is so critical that we take care of our mental health every single day that you wake up. You've got to be intentional about it.
Yeah.
Just don't
It's
say
so true.
this,
It's so true.
and we're not intentional about our behavior. It's like, oh, if I think about drinking some water, no, the heck with thinking about it. Handle your business.
Yeah.
I need you to live. Okay. Your family needs you to live. Okay. So the things that you can control and that you can manage in your life, handle it. Okay. We need you. So
Mm-hmm.
that part. But getting back to my book, which is why I'm here, you guys, okay,
Yes.
with you and Amy, and these self-care tips that we were talking about before. And one of the other ones is and I think I kind of mentioned this, but I didn't get to elaborate it too much because our time frame. They
Yeah, I
we had
know.
to go. But I'm glad I'm back with you. But develop words at the end of the year, I should say. At the end of each year, I started doing a thing. I started listing out about 10 or 15 words to help govern my life going into the next year. And one of my words that always comes back is alignment.
Okay.
Alignment to
Alignment
me is
is
a very powerful word
mm-hmm.
that has so much power within it because, as you know, when things are aligned, there's
Mm-hmm.
movement that can happen and there's a flow that can happen
Yeah.
because when things are disordered and all over the orbit and all over the planet and not aligned, there's no flow in that. And when things are not aligned in your mind, in your home, in your work, there's chaos, there's disorder. This is just all up in arms. And I'm telling you, it does not bring you peace. And peace of mind, as I've gotten to be, you know, older
Oh,
and
yeah.
wiser and 67 years young, peace of mind becomes my major focal process.
Yeah.
Long as I got peace of mind, million is conquering the world. Okay. Elon Musk, watch out.
Move
Okay. Move
over or
over.
make a seat next to you. Don't move over. We're not trying to force you out. You're great, but just make a seat for me next to you. Yes,
Thank
yes.
you. Elon, did you hear Amy tell you that? Yes, we're both getting on there. But with that, again, you got to do things that create self care tips for you. Another
Yeah.
one, make all your doctor visits and take your annual test. Just
Okay.
because you're young, been there, done that. But trust me, again, you've got to take care of the internal parts of the body that you don't see. Things are happening in your system you don't know. And when you have pain in your body, people, hello, that is the body's language that says, million, alert, something's going on. Something's not normal
Yeah.
with your system. And you must make a call, go to the doctor, find out what it is, okay? Don't let it linger. Sometimes what we do, and I'm not saying just be a hypochondriac,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? There's balance in all things.
Mm-hmm.
I always say if you have too much oxygen, you might die. You got just enough. So you got to keep the balance in life. But when your body is talking to you, that's your
Mm-hmm.
system's way of saying, Amy,
Yeah.
hello, I need you to do something. So I'm alerting you, I'm letting you know, go get it checked.
Yeah.
And then we can go from there. Another great tip is I love great smell and aroma around my home.
I see
And
candles in the background. Are those candles over there? I always see them on the side. Yeah.
let me tell you, I have a ritual. When I get up in the morning, you know, all the blinds get opened, walk around the house, all the candles, because I need to have this beautiful aroma. That when I walk down the hallway, when I walk into other rooms, when I walk into the bathrooms, I really should have my own candle company. Maybe that's when I need to make my next
Soon. Yeah,
investment.
that's going to be next. Yep.
Yeah, that's the next one. It's coming. But all of these little things, Amy, people don't realize the significant difference of so many small things that you can capture in your life, in your home, where you have control of your atmosphere.
Yeah.
Do those things to
Yeah.
create more harmony, more peace. Because when you leave out of your home, it's like, oh, hell is broken. Listen, you don't know what's going on out there. You got to pray for the best when you get out of there. But when you're at home, make this your kingdom. Make this your palace. Make this your happy place. Make this a place of peace of mind. Make sure when you wake up, when you go to bed, just, you know, I just like on cruise control at home. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I
So true.
love it. And I believe, this is not scientifically me speaking, but I believe by all these different things that I do intentionally create more life and a better life and a quality of life for myself. I soak in my tub with rose petals. Oh my God.
God bless.
I gotta have it. I
Silky
got
smooth.
Yes, I gotta have it, Amy. In this rush life,
Ah,
we're all taking showers because you gotta get up, you gotta do this.
yeah.
The kids, the husband, gotta go to work, gotta do this. Uh-uh. Time out. Let's stop. Create a moment. Close the door, tell the children, mommy needs mommy time. And I think it's very important when you're a parent and you have little people, and that's what I call them, because they are not children to me. They're really little people. They have their own minds, emotions, and everything else, as we all know as parents. Teach them that because you're teaching them effective ways to take care of the self.
Yeah.
When they see you doing these things, as your children grow, they will say, oh, I remember my mom, oh, every Saturday morning, she took her bath from 1 to 2 or whatever time frame or before the kids get up or whatever. But they recall that. And those are coachable, teachable moments for creating better health patterns in their lives that will just be automatic. I remember years ago when I lived in California and I worked for Kaiser Hospital, like 26 years, I was in healthcare on the admin side, not the nursing. But I used to have a massage therapist come to my office like every 2 weeks, massage my feet and massage my shoulders. And then I started bringing him at home. And my children grew up having massages as little kids. These are things you can teach your children so that they grow up, and this is a part of their lifestyle.
Yeah.
These are good techniques to have them do.
True.
Okay. And then build pleasant memories, whatever that is, just build
Mhm.
pleasant memories. These are things I just don't want to have a conversation with our audience. I want them to be intentional. What are you doing in your family to build pleasant memories? Because at the end of the day, as we get older in life, it's those memories, those great memories that bring smiles to your heart, that bring smiles to your soul, and
True.
they're anchors.
Mhm.
We hold on to them. And I don't know if I've ever shared this with the audience. You can let me know if I have or not, because I just keep going like the bunny rabbit, ever ready bunny rabbit. But oh, let me ask you a question, Amy. What's the longest distance that a human would ever have to travel? Have I asked you that question?
No, never.
Oh,
I'm
oh,
trying to
good, good.
think about like
Yeah,
Jesus
yeah.
and Moses, and they're
Right,
walking
right,
in the desert, and I don't even know.
right,
Like I'm
right,
Catholic, but I don't really know. And they
right,
walk. Do they walk for 40 days and 40 nights? How many miles is that? I don't know.
right.
I don't know.
Okay. I assert, Amy, that the longest distance that a man or woman, human, has to ever travel in life is 12 inches. And it's like, million.
But
What?
what?
Give us the rest of that one.
What?
Okay.
What?
Okay. 12 inches. I assert to you today and to this global audience that's listening by the sound of this voice, between the head and the heart
Mm-hmm.
is the longest distance you ever have to travel. Again, remember that powerful word that I started out with, alignment? If your head and that heart and that mind is not in alignment, the distance that you travel is beyond the planetary universal code.
Mm-hmm.
So once that aligns, that distance between the heart and the mind, and they come together and formulate a bond, because as a psychology student, I learned, I mean, it was like, oh God, when I learned this word, it was like, oh, I like that. It's called cognitive dissonance. And
Yep.
what that simply means is like when you've got two thoughts in your head,
Yeah.
almost like
Yeah.
the devil and the angel,
Mm-hmm.
and those colliding thoughts, and you don't know what to do, but this is going this way, it's going that way. That's cognitive dissonance. So that's why I say when there is alignment that
Yep.
happens with you, your soul is refreshed, your mind is refreshed. You feel a sense of restoration and
Wow.
contentment. And with
Mm-hmm.
all of that, that energy leaves out of your system and evade and just not evades, but it invokes the external because you are in alignment with yourself. Because when people are like confused and just all kind, you can to see it and you can feel it, and it's like, oh, I'm doing this, Amy. I'm like, oh no, get behind me. No, 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 no. That energy, I'm like, I can't take it.
Yep.
I have what I call a junior breakdown. Because I'm like, okay, you need to hire me as your
Totally.
life
Yeah.
coach so I can get you back in alignment and
Mm-hmm.
everybody in the universe can get back in alignment.
Realign. Realign.
Yeah, let's get this thing, let's get this alignment party started. Okay, let's get you back to where you need to go, because when you are aligned, you're a blessing to everybody around you.
Yeah.
You know what that negative energy is when people come into work, or you go into a store, or wherever I don't care, you're on vacation and somebody's just, it's like, oh, I can't, I just can't, because you know what, that stuff disrupts you, and you may
Totally.
not
Yep.
even know the person, but
So
what they're
true.
dealing with, because they're not in alignment.
There.
And so all that stuff. And then I have here, get a massage, but do it often.
Hmm.
Get a massage. Oh my God, does wonders. We spend all this money on, our clothing and this, our cars and
It's so
whatever, the
true.
homes and whatever. But again,
The
we
self-care
miss,
lacks.
yes. Oh, Amy, it's so many things that we
I
can
know.
do to just have a better sense of this human experience while we're here, because none of us know how long we're going to be here. And age is not a thing when
It's
it
true.
comes to leaving here. So why not embrace the things that you can do to create a more fulfilling, a better lived life, and for
Mm-hmm.
everyone around you? And another
So
thing,
true.
get your proper rest. Rest is underrated, and it
It
needs to
really
be
is.
overrated. Okay, because Amy, I tell you, people say to me, "How do you do whatever all that you do?" Because I'm all over the universe.
Of
Okay,
course.
I've got I could do podcasts until Jesus comes back, Amy. Okay, because I'd have different
Ah,
different columns that we can operate in. Okay, this is just the self care. I've got community programs that I've developed that I work with law enforcement. Girl, I got stuff that just keeps reeling in. But my point is this: I know that I am an A+ type personality, okay, with boom, just coming all out
yep.
of everywhere. Okay.
Yep.
When I wake up, hit the floor, they're like, oh my God, she's awake. So I know my body operates at a high energy level.
Mm-hmm.
I am clear. Wherever I go, it's popping off. Okay. Um, but so knowing that about myself and understanding, that's a lot of energy leaving my system all day long.
Yeah.
So I'm in the bed at 9 o'clock every night for the most part, unless my husband and I get caught up with a good Netflix. So that
Mm-hmm.
that may get me, Amy. I'm just telling you that
Uh-huh.
might take me to 9:01 or 9:30.
Yep.
But I am regulated that million, you put so much energy out, you have to be restored. And how
Recharge.
the body gets restored is through rest and sleep. And
Mm-hmm.
then with sleep, you can't just lay down and think that that's sleep. The body is getting rest from the activity and the movement,
Mm-hmm.
but unless your mind
Yep.
gets rest, alignment that the body and the mind is getting rest, you can lay down for 8 hours and not sleep.
Yeah.
And then there's what's called REM sleep. Rapid eye movement is what the acronym stands for.
Yep.
So with that, that's where that level and that layer of sleep, where restoration in your cells take place. Because your cells got to be restored, you
Mm-hmm.
know, so you can keep on living.
Yeah.
So you got to understand these things about our bodies to help the
Mm-hmm.
process so you can maximize every day you wake up, that you're doing the intricate details, being intentional about your self-care.
So true.
I'm not just looking good just to look good. I'm doing some work here to keep this baby, okay?
Yeah.
Because I love being cute, Amy. I'm just, my
You
husband's
are
like, you would just,
adorable.
but I just love it. But
Aw.
in order for that to stay there, I gotta take care.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
gotta be mindful.
Thanks for reminding us again. Yeah.
Yes. And then proper nutrition. I went through this thing about maybe a month ago. Oh, I gotta tell this on myself.
Mm.
Amy, you ready for a laugh?
Ready.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a good one.
Go for it.
Okay, we live in Texas, but
Mm-hmm.
kids are out in California. And so I'm out there and I'm visiting with my son's girlfriend and her family invite us to dinner. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I started feeling self-conscious about my tummy bulge. Okay. So I actually sat there with my jacket on. And I was like, when I got in the car, I had to call my husband. I'm like, husband,
Ah,
because he was here at home. I'm like, you won't
what?
believe what just happened to
Uh-huh.
me and what I just like cognitively thought about. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
what million? What now? Because he never knows what's coming out of my mouth, and neither do I. So I'm like, You won't believe I'm sitting there at dinner and we're enjoying ourselves, but I never took my jacket off because I was feeling self-conscious about my weight. He's like, you self-conscious
Self-conscious? Yeah,
about
yeah, it
anything?
happened. Yeah.
Because my daughter says to me, Mom, you could be 500 pounds and you still going to think you're cute and fly and everything else. And
Aw.
I'm like,
But we all
so,
have moments of
yeah, we
self-doubt
do.
and yeah.
So I'm telling you, but I never had that feeling. And
Wow.
I was like, Million, these are feelings what they call shame. And you better investigate this stuff. Make a long story short. So it was time for my doctor's appointment, my annual labs and all of that. And my doctor was like, Million, your A1C is up a little bit. I'm like, what? Oh no. So coupled with this feeling that I had in the labs, okay, remember I said, go to the doctor, find out what's going on inside your system because you don't know. So if your A1C levels are up, that's pre-diabetic stuff. It's like, oh
Got it.
no,
Got it.
we're not
Yeah.
doing that.
Ah,
So you know what I did?
yeah.
Because those
Uh,
two things created me to catapult. I sat
uh-huh.
down, talked with my husband. Part
And
of his background, he's a certified personal trainer some years ago in the Marine Corps. And I said to him, I'm like, husband, I call him husband. Everybody cracks
husband.
up with
Yeah.
that. Husband, guess what?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like coming back from the doctor telling him, and I'm like, my mind is telling me I need to get rid of this sugar stuff because it's detrimental to my health. Okay. Because, honey, with the Netflix after dinner, he has his Fritos and I got my Cheetos going.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just crunching away, or either the Haagen-Dazs something. And it's like,
We gotta stop. Yep.
stop.
Yep.
We have to stop. It's
Or
not
this.
working anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, and I
So,
apologize. We have to stop too. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Sorry.
Amy, you know I could talk to you forever. Tell them we need a forever podcast show. So I don't know what
Yes.
they're doing.
Ah, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. So we're in a
Oh
roll.
my
So
goodness.
is your A1C under control now?
Oh, girl, you already know. I went and threw all the sugar
Good.
products out of the house, nothing but seasonings in there.
Good.
So everything has been rearranged. So again, when you find out the
Yeah.
self-care tips, you got to do what you got to do. Be intentional about your nutrition, your health. So we've got a gym outside the garage. Girl, I'm getting it.
Great. How do we reach you? Tell us quick.
Reach me, effectuallifecoaching.com or 661-341-0730, or just Google me, Millionaire Williams. You'll get 9 or 10 pages. Just look, I'm there.
She's
No,
awesome. Thank you so much for all the self-positive talk and care. And she's really helping so many of us. And I enjoy talking to you as always. Thank you.
Amy,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye,
Bye, honey.
sweetheart.
Thank
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.